Here at the Spice Room Podcast, we just want to give a huge shout out to Blurred Over for the interview that we did this past week. Whether you watched it live or you decided to watch it after, we just appreciate the support and the continued effort to listen in. Again, as always, keep it spicy, and now back to the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to the Spicy Ramen Podcast. Sit back, relax, and prepare to serve.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Spicy Ramen Podcast. Back at it again, like I never left. Obviously.
I was gonna let him slide with that.
See, I was trying to keep it too. Y'all killed me, man. I was trying to keep it.
I stay silent for a good 10 seconds.
Obviously, as you can hear in the background, I got JP with me.
What up?
And I also got Shaq with me.
What's happening?
And as always, we're starting it off with our typical getting catch up of the week. Let's start with you, JP. What's been up? I've
been on my my pro-black stuff heavy. I mean, if you follow me, you kind of know I post about black people and uplift black people and shout out black people, but I've been doing it a lot recently. Did a protest on Sunday in Milwaukee. Regardless of what the news likes to say about all of them being violent and chaotic, this was peaceful as can be and as peaceful as a lot of these protests have been. We marched through Milwaukee. They were singing church songs. They were having Bible scripture time. You know, there's a pastor that was giving a sermon, just all positive stuff. You know, and unfortunately 2 people ended up getting arrested during the protest. I still don't really know what for because I was kind of in the back and then I just saw it. But overall, I've just been being a part of the whole movement. I mean, I've always been a part of the movement, but right now there actually is a movement going on and I've been repping it heavy and unfortunately also getting pretty upset about people's reactions to it, but
Amen.
It is what it is. What about you, Shaq?
Man, you know, just having to support the Black Lives Matter movement in the best way I can. Those know I am still current active military, so I am supporting the cause, but within my own limitations due to my job description and what I have going on. But besides that, a lot of other stuff going on in the backgrounds for the podcast. We thank everybody for being patient for our few-week hiatus due to some small stuff, and our the team's involvement with the Black Lives Matter movement will be continuing this on so that we can finish up the full year of the podcast. We thank everybody for supporting Black podcast and supporting Black content creators.
Amen.
We want you all to know that here at the Spice Ramen Podcast, we want everyone to be treated and to treat others equally. Love yourself and love each other.
Amen. And of course, last but certainly not least is me. As already being stated, I have been active in trying to find ways to support people who look like me. If you ever talk to me, if you ever known who I am, you know who my family is. You know that we are heavily in our community and trying our damnedest to make sure that we play a role in some form of change. Shout out to my wife, who is the queen of this, and I mean the queen. Her life's work is this work. She's been doing it for well over a decade now, and I know she doesn't really listen to the podcast, so she won't hear this. So this is her shout out without her even knowing it. But again, and just want to say thank y'all for everyone who has had kind words, who has, even if you don't understand the movement, if you don't understand why we are doing this, you were intelligent enough to go ask the questions. That's majority of what we ask for. If you do not know, please do not just spew a rhetoric, but instead find some type of intelligent person in your circle who may not have the same view as you and ask the questions. Majority of people, and again, I say majority, not all, but majority of people will answer to the best of their ability. This is not a great time to ask, given the climate that we are in right now. But I say again, it still is a better chance of you asking those questions than you having your opinion, not being checked on this opinion, and just spewing it out to the world. That's the worst you could do. But continuing on, as we are getting into the episode, I'm going to have Shaq start us off this time. What's the topic?
Oh.
And what are you want to talk about the most?
No. You know, they don't play it all the ball.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is boy Shaq. Today for Spice Ramen Podcast, we're going to be talking about anime gatekeepers. And what we mean by that is those within the anime community, those who just kind of like have those awkward and weird conversations, for those who seem not to be of the anime culture, and for those who like to ask those obscure questions or just be those obscure, obnoxious assholes who like to prove themselves or disprove others in their otaku-ness. What I mean by this is having your typical casual person mention a few things about anime, and then your stereotypical person coming up with these obscure questions to try to test somebody else's anime, what's a good word for this? Anime commitment, per se. And
Yep.
the concept behind it is really ridiculous, because if anything, us of the otaku community should be more heartwarming to those who at least want to give it a try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in my personal experience, I have always been eager to show anime to someone, so it's very hard for me to try and, steer away from that. I've always been one to be like, oh, you want to watch? Cool, bet. But I do know there's plenty of people who are like, oh, because you decided that you like this type of anime, I can't mess with you. Or because you pronounce this wrong, I can't talk anime with you. Like,
right.
Even in one of our groups, in me and Shaq is very kind of almost infamous for this, of showing anime gear. Don't get me started. Ooh. We are, yeah.
I know. Push my fucking buttons.
So, yeah, we are definitely of the type where we, what's the best way to say this without saying it directly? We are in a group that...
Don't be a closet otaku.
Amen. That's the best way to say it.
Don't be in the closet.
Okay, yes.
Don't be a closet otaku.
That...
JB, you know who he's talking about.
I already know. I'm like... bro, if there's one thing that I can't stand is like, you're in this thing, you're a part of the culture, but then it's like you're shitting on people for being a part of the culture. And I'm like, how,
bro?
How do you like? You're in an anime group chat,
right?
Like, I can say it's like, nah, I don't have a crap ton of anime gear. It's like, or it's like, oh, that ain't my thing. I'm just a watcher. Cool. Whatever. But it's like someone who loves sports and has a bunch of jerseys, and then you're making fun of them for having jerseys.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And that's exactly what kind of, in our, in the group chat that we're talking about, we post a lot of different clothing inside there because we wear anime gear. Like, if you see any of my most recent photos, chances are I have some form of Goku on. I have some form of My Hero Academia on. I got to get my Hunter x Hunter gear up. But there's always going to be something.
And if you see my Instagram, you see I got the drip.
But
I'm not even gonna front. I got the drip, and I'm mostly mad because I was the one who started posting the goddamn clothes to kind of put everybody else on. But you know what? Nah, because I'm about to raise my blood pressure talking about this. Go ahead.
And that's kind of what happened. It was one of those things where a gatekeeper or one of the supposed gatekeepers definitely was like, nah, fam, you can't wear those clothes. What were you thinking? Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's trash. And we were like, you're trash. Like, what are you talking about? But that's kind of what happened. To even go further, I would say that there are different types of gatekeepers. That being one of them, where if you try to express yourself through clothing or express yourself through some form of fashion, you get shitted on.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those where you're like Naruto Shippuden, or you go, I can't even say it how Michael B said it.
Michael B. Jordan said it.
I'm trying to.
Bruh.
Like,
so I was okay with the whole him coming out with this whole Naruto clothing line. The fact that like, one, that shit is expensive as fuck. That shit costs more than a goddamn weekend at a convention.
yes, yes it does. Amen.
Buy 2 shirts. That's the price of a Switch.
Like, come on, bro. Like, if your clothing line costs more than a cosplay, we got some problems.
Right?
And that's exactly how
like,
I was
Fam
going
Bam,
too.
like
legit, just no regard for how much his stuff actually costs. And the gatekeepers wasn't even mad really about the clothes. They were more mad about the mispronunciation of what he was trying to sell.
Yeah. So for those listening, a one big stickler for like hardcore fans is how you pronounce certain characters or certain things within anime and manga. Like there are people who get really freaking anal about enunciation. Now, granted, if it's just hard to pronounce, it's hard to fucking pronounce. I'm not gonna bash you for that. But if it's just blatant disregard, then okay, I can see that. Like how like back in the day, some adults would say Pokemon and Digiman. Now, personally, when I was little, that shit pissed me off. Like, I almost cursed out a whole teacher talking about like, how you an English teacher, but you saying Pokemon? Where's the A?
Bruh,
where's the A?
Don't even get me started on that. It's like, I swear they did it on purpose. They were doing it on purpose. It's like, you know, it's not man. It's not Pocket Man. It's Pocket Monsters.
Oh, I know for a fact that I got my mom called because one of the teachers was telling me putting my Yu-Gi Man cards away. I was like, I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't have Yu-Gi Man cards, so I don't know what cards you're telling me to put up, sir.
I don't know why I imagined a little Shaq. Like, same Shaq, like the same, like, bald, got the glasses, but just smaller. Like that character from that Nickelodeon show or something. What was
I hate you so much.
the one where he was like, and the chicken was dry or whatever?
Oh, Fillmore? Hell yeah. I take that. I fucks with that.
He out here disrespecting the teacher. He was like, let me see your credentials. Cause how you just messed up this name, I ain't with. Shaq became a professor at a young age.
The disrespect came early.
He's at.
I was born with this power.
My man put the pencil down, pushed his glasses up, and said, "Listen here, dummy."
I was calling people Baka before it was a thing.
Baka.
You want me to put up my Yu-Gi Man cards? Baka!
Nah, time out. The ones that used to be like, and put your Digiman up.
Ooh. I think they all just put the mans at the end of it just to annoy people. I'm just like, you ain't about to insult my intelligence.
I promise
you ain't about to disrespect my game.
Or
you're not about to do this.
You can't play this because you know all that is the devil.
I'm grateful that I never, ever got that.
What?
Which is like, with even all the Haitian superstition and all, whatever my parents never said I couldn't do something because it was demonic. Ever.
Yeah.
Never once. I'm lucky because I know a lot of people were like, they couldn't even watch Harry Potter because it was wizards and wizards of the devil.
Yeah, there's a couple families I know that do that. I was glad that my mom was okay with me playing Yu-Gi-Oh because she knew I was reading. When she looked at one of them cards with them long ass texts on them, and she's like, "You can read all of this?" Yes, and memorize all this? Yes. But then she'll turn around and be like, "You can remember these damn Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but you can't remember your homework."
I hate when they make that comparison. It's like homework isn't fun. Yu-Gi-Oh is.
Right. Like, Mom, I ain't worried about algebra. I'm trying to send niggas to the shadow realm, B. Like, for real.
Oh,
that
man.
was my concern.
And I think the worst part out of all this was whenever, especially during that time, I remember in like Chicago, people were dying for like shiny Pokemon cards. And
what the fuck?
Yes.
Run them
yes,
shits.
Yes. Like, I distinctly remember getting into fights over, I had a shiny Japanese Blastoise. And I was like, legit get into fights in the hall room and in the bathrooms. Like, yo, y'all not taking my card. We can battle it out, but y'all not walking away with this. Like, y'all not, at least y'all not walking away clean. Like, y'all getting these licks. Like,
right?
Yep.
I promise you, being a black anime lover back in the day, it makes you tougher.
Oh, yes.
It's like,
it does, bro.
Oh, yes.
We a different breed, bro. Like, that jump was like, it was like we was proud of it, but we had to keep some of that shit on the low because it's like, oh, word?
Yeah.
You must got some of them cards that be worth like hundreds of dollars. Run them shits.
It was like, let me hold this card. No. And then they try to grab it. I've had someone try to grab the card. So instead of me even trying to grab the card, I was like, I'm going to just hit you.
Yes.
It's like your hand goes on that card, you try, boom. And then it's like, thank you.
No,
I was like, I ain't playing no fucking games.
It wasn't as much with Pokemon, but with Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my god. When I got the Blue Eyes White Dragon, it was like the moment I put it down, I had to ball my fist up because I knew it was coming from somewhere. It was like, all right, who catching these hands? Like,
like kids playing Yu-Gi-Oh now, which by the way is fucking obscure as fuck at this point now. So many goddamn rules. But like back then, you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh like in the bathroom in the school or like under the table in the lunch because it's like, because like there really wasn't no tournaments back then. Well, any official ones yet.
Not
and
for
it's
us.
like as you're playing, and like as you're playing your cards, you're looking around like, all right, who I know is getting ready to steal some shit I'm about to play. Because like you know you got that one holographic card that somebody wants, and somebody's looking like as soon as he plays it, I'm stealing that shit and running. You know what I'm saying? Like you're playing against an opponent and the audience at the same time.
I swear it was always cards
you
and
look
J's.
at your deck too long, someone swipes your shit.
Yep.
It was cards and J's for me, man. I couldn't believe it. Like when I swear my sister got me. I think it was, I want to say, either the Space Jams, like when they first, not the remake, the ones that came out later in the 2000s. Like when I was like 6, she got me the Space Jams, or it was either Space Jams or like the Smoke Red 7s. That and my Yu-Gi-Oh cards was the only things I got in fights for.
I will say, like, especially with Shaq going on the tournaments, I remember I went to this one card store because you know, like some of the card stores would hold like little tournaments. You had to like pay a fee or something to get in. But I remember I like asked, and I went inside the card store, and this was in like a black area. I was like, all right, cool, some black, and then. I walked in and there was a bunch of white kids. They turned around and just looked at me weird. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Walked right out. I was like, I'm done.
See, I had a totally different experience. I did totally the opposite. First off, I found out about it from like a poster from like the little mall that had the card shop and everything. I knew it was going down on Saturday. So like that Friday, I'm in my room watching an old VHS Yu-Gi-Oh, just sitting there, just like looking at my cards and just like sitting there, just motivating myself. Like, what would Yugi do? Man, I walked in that Saturday morning, had my collar up, had my jean jacket on, looking like, yo, we trying to catch these L's, baby. Same thing, white dude, grown ass white man, just looking at me, just like, who the fuck? I'm like, who the fuck y'all looking at? my bad. Y'all looking at a champion. Let me go ahead and flex real quick.
Fillmore in the house. He was like, "Yeah, I'm about to dog y'all."
And listen, my mom realized it was real. She was like, "Where the fuck all this confidence come from?" She looked at me like I'm a whole different child. Like, hold the fuck. You know what? I'm gonna go get my nails done. I ain't trying to do none of this shit.
But Mom, I was about to dog him.
Like, it's a. Now I looked at, I was like, "It's all right, Mom. Go ahead. You don't want to see this massacre that's about to happen." Loki, my first tournament, I came in like third place.
I would always play with people who switched up the rules on me. Like, they were my boys, but I'm like, bro, which rules we playing? Because like some people would try to play the rules like on the TV show. Like the moment
I hated
they would
that
try
shit.
to like trap card. I'm like, bruh, y'all ain't ever say we playing this way, but then when I start winning, that's when you want to do this bullshit. Nah.
See, the worst thing about card games and black people, we'll know what the rules are, but we got extra rules for black people.
Yep. That's why every game we play, it's like, which rules we playing?
Bro, that's like playing the spades, man. But yeah, no, I distinctly remember all of the times where my parents made up some crazy 4 diamond toss, 4 Joker ace, deuce, random playlist for spades to where I was like, yo, I can't deal. Like, I can't play with y'all.
What needs to be the next best card-oriented anime game is just a game of spades.
Yeah.
Turn spades into an anime.
That would be a fire anime,
That'd
too.
be funny.
Every town has a different way of playing.
Right.
Oh God! And then every game has a fight. People not fight, but arguing like.
No, it's like everything that happens, you settle it through spades. It's just like, I can't believe you're coming on this gang's turf. Oh, you know why I'm here. I'll get for a game of spades.
I never.
And somebody has like a book bag that turns into a table.
Oh, D.
Yo.
They throw that shit out like Bulma with the capsules.
Yes. And then, y'all remember Metabots? When the referee just comes out of nowhere every time somebody's getting ready to fight?
Yeah.
Oh, Ronnie, let's do this. It's your boy, Mr. Referee, the referee.
That was on CW Saturday mornings, right? Or WB?
Yes.
Bro,
Yeah, it's on the... Yeah, CW.
CW, okay. CW,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
It'd be a random like referee, be like, all right, it's a game of spades. Let's do it.
This is one thing that I wanted to mention. It's like about like the whole gatekeeping thing, kind of like switching topics. I hate when, like, we all know those dudes that's like when someone says they watch an anime and they're like, oh, do you know this? Do you know that? Oh, then you're not a fan.
Oh my
God.
God.
I hate when like someone says they watch an anime and you get excited and like you want to discuss something with them and you bring up something and then they like look at you like you just gatekeep them. I'm like, nah, bro. It's just like, I really love the show and I got excited. Like, well, I asked you about what you thought on this. It's like, it wasn't me trying to like test your knowledge all the way and take away your, how big of a fan you are.
I'm guilty of
I feel
that.
like that
I'm
definitely had happened to,
that.
like, it definitely had to have happened to Shaq because Shaq remembers a lot about every anime.
So my thing. So
L is
my
not
thing is
the hero. He's not. Stop that.
Listen. So I've had to learn to utilize my anime powers with responsibility at a very young age. But so I've had to I have to hold myself in a couple seconds in a conversation. Like if somebody talks about a certain anime that I know a lot of, I'm gonna sit there and just say and let them talk for a little bit, and then I'll ease into it, and then the more things start piling on as far as information, that's when I get into it. I don't jump straight out the gate. I used to do that a lot. I just jump straight into the gate, and then I get those looks like, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But now I've learned with my years of experience to just ease into it. If they don't know too much, then I tell them, you know what I'm saying, I inform people like, hey, I suggest looking more into it because you'll learn more about this aspect of the story and all the other stuff that you guys know on the podcast I'm famous for doing and stuff like that. I give you recommendations so you can know the information. I used to shotgun the shit out of people with information. Like, oh man, you seen it in season 5 and episode 22?
Bruh.
Yeah, you'll remember the episodes, and I feel like Shaq is the person who can remember the episode names. Like, and that's not even like trying to make fun, but it's
that's
like
a compliment.
This man is so it's like he's so into this shit where it's like, oh yeah, that's episode 27. And then I'm like, bro, how did you remember that?
So I think at one point I did know him, but that's when alcohol got into my life. That like I started like reducing my knowledge a little bit, just slightly. But I think I used to actually.
Yeah, for me.
But no, you're totally right though. I think at one point I did that.
I think what happened to me, and I still feel guilty for this to this day, it was college, so I felt like, we're at that point of we should be mature enough to have open dialogue. And
You're right.
We were talking about Dragon Ball Z. This is like during the time Dragon Ball Z Kai had just kind of ended. GT was still like the thing. And somebody was like legit arguing with me that Cell was stronger than Majin Buu. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. What is your premise? Where are you getting this from? What do you not understand? And long story short, he had the names mixed up. He thought Majin Buu was Cell and Cell was Majin Buu.
How?
I went on a 5-minute dogging tangent. Like, I was a gatekeeper in that moment. I was like, bro. Only because he had a Dragon Ball Z tattoo. And I was like,
oh my God.
I'm like, bro, like,
it's a phony.
It felt like a white person trying to pose as black. It was like, yo, like, my guy, you tatted with Dragon Ball Z and you don't even know these niggas' names. Like, come on, son. Come on, son.
You're a big fat phony. Look at his tattoo. It's phony.
Right? That's a cool tattoo. They say that, hey, you're a phony. Hey, everybody, a phony lives here.
And he was trying to bring up, like, Dragon Ball stuff, and he was mixing it up with Dragon Ball Z. I was just like, yo, man, like, just chill out, son. Just.
So the one thing about anime gatekeeping that I really, I would say I really feel upset about, and I really feel bad about at the same time, is how a lot of asshole gatekeepers, and like I'm talking about the bad ones, not the over eccentric informational ones like me, but the asshole ones who are aggressive towards females. That shit is ridiculous as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I know I have plenty of female friends from high school that do not fit the description of, well, let me not say that. I'm so sorry. Let me not say that. That don't look like someone who would watch anime, and then like when another person that doesn't know them will ask them these dumbass questions and they hit them back with even more information, like almost to my level of information, they look dumbfounded. Granted, because I knew them, I thought it was hilarious as fuck. But to them, it gets aggravating and shit. And I know a lot of females who listen to our podcast who have been in those situations. I just want to say, I'm so sorry y'all have to deal with that shit so many times, especially at conventions. I've seen that happen I don't know how many times. I have a close friend of mine who she volunteers at MomoCon in Atlanta for the past like 4.5, even 5 years now. And every time she's there, some guy walks up to her and is like, "Hey, how you doing? Are you lost? Do you not know where you are right now?" And she's like, "Nigga, I work here. The fuck you talking about?" Like, I'm in charge of panels and shit, which, by the way, she might be our hookup for MomoCon. Just mention that on the side. But, and it's just hilarious because I know, like, I've talked to her a couple times about it and a few of my other female friends from Atlanta. And I know out of everybody, they get it the most. Here, let me let y'all know, here at the Spice Ramen Podcast, we appreciate all of our black anime queens and everything y'all do for the anime community. We love y'all so much.
Yep. And shout out to all the Avengers in our Pokemon leagues who are definitely teaming up and smacking all the guys in this. Believe me, there are some women in here who can smack anybody who steps to the plate.
I feel like there's a giggity in there.
Yeah. See, and I'm the kid. I'm the kid in the group. See? See?
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Not really, but.
Right. The lies you tell. The lies you tell. But yeah, I think one of the happier things, even when it happened to me, was when people watch it. Prime example being my wife, when she watches new anime, and at first she tries to tune it out because she's either one working on some type of something that has to do with the betterment of our world or whatever meeting she has to set up, blah, blah, blah. By episode 3, you can see a shift. And that's what happens, I think, the majority of people who watches any form of anime, normally by the 3rd episode, they are tuned in. They may not know the names all the way. They may not know like what's necessarily going on, but they have a new focus towards any anime that they are watching that is new. I hate, I loathe people who kill that. Like, I watched one episode, you don't need to watch it. Like, please give people at least 3 to 5 episodes of actually watching the show before you give any form of opinion. Like, please leave that alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with
so
that.
Justin, I just remembered. Oh, sorry, JP, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's like, I was going off of what he was saying. It's like, you should always give people a few, or give anything a few episodes. It's the same way it's like, with anything, listening to music or whatever, sometimes you gotta listen to an album more than once before you're like, oh, this album is trash. Like, I actually used to not like Attack on Titan like that. Like, I watched it the first time, I was like, damn, this is kind of interesting, but this shit is boring. But I was like, I didn't really pay attention. I've had to watch Attack on Titan 3 times, and I was like, yo, this shit is fire. And I'm glad I never expressed my opinion about how much I dislike Attack on Titan at first. Because I would have been looking stupid.
Listen, because when Attack on Titan came on, they blew up. Shoot, it took one of my friends that y'all know, I don't know how many years to finally fucking watch it, and now he won't shut up about it.
When you get into it, and I'm one of those anime watchers where it's like, I'll watch the show, and then I'll go on the internet and like I'm on Attack on Titan Wiki or whatever, and I'm like, all right, what the hell are they talking about here? And I start diving deep. Like Naruto is the one show that I think I've dived the deepest into, to where I would almost say it's the one show where I'm like a Shaq on it, because there's so much like folklore and like Japanese stories told inside it. And I'm not going to go. I'm about to get sidetracked. What were you going to say, Shaq?
No, I was going to mention that funny story as far as like anime gatekeeping. I think that's originally how me and Justin started talking with each other back when he was still in the military, and we was in the same unit together. I believe he was talking to somebody else about an anime show, and I just happened to be around in the conversation, and I jumped in, and then in typical fashion, they look at me because of my position at the unit. They was like, "You know about anime?" And I'm like, "This isn't even my final form."
Time out.
He had the glare on his glasses.
Yo, I was just about to say that. Oh my god.
I did the glasses move and everything. Like, this isn't even my final form.
Uryu. That's all I thought of when he walked up. It was like, Uryu, what are you doing here? Like, like, wait.
No, it was like walking up like Eisen with the glasses and then taking them off and slicking my hair back like, fools. This is all part of my plan.
Oh man.
But then after that, it just went all the way off and everybody's like, oh, he about that life.
And I think that's the funny part, because even back then I had ideas of doing this podcast, but no one around me really had the intelligence to like really hold the dialogue. So it would be me. Imagine me, like, again, I know plenty of anime, but imagine me trying to hold up to like Shaq's standard of trying to articulate every detail. I'm like, nah, fam, like you just need to watch it. Like, like I'm not going into the detail. Like, no, you need to watch this. Like,
Shaq is that dude that if you could compare it to like cooking, he's that guy. He's like, wow, you can really taste the tarragon in this. Like, he's that, he will dissect the shit out of that anime. I'm like, tarragon?
take a bite of the food and be like, I could have sworn that the instructions said 12 ounces of salt. You put 28 ounces in this motherfucker. I can taste it.
You are 3 milligrams off on this water, okay? I'm gonna need you to fix this, alright? Fix this.
But it said basil, not fucking jasmine.
Shaq would be the one to be like, what is this? It's basil. Motherfucker, didn't I tell you Thai basil?
This is the Japanese region, okay? Alright, we need a better one, alright? Oh, he's that guy off the scene of Chef was like, it's molten! It's molten! You see that? It's molten!
But you need that. It's always good to have that, because it's like, how many times have we messed up the names of, well, Justin has done it way more than I have.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to throw you under the bus.
Oh yeah. I'll take it pride. It's alright.
Justin will, like, I'm like, this man has massacred more names than substitute teachers with black people's names.
Ooh, buddy. He is ladies and gentlemen, this is hit him with a nice hard right.
Yeah, like where's the cemetery I'm located at? Please just know where my body is, because clearly I'm already in the bag. Like, I just need to know where I'm getting put. Like,
but
JP hit him with that combo breaker.
But then it's like, you can easily be like, JP, shut up. You don't even remember what we're talking about.
Oh my goodness.
Like, it's legit that one character where it's like, wait, huh?
I can't even, I don't know if I can even say anything right now.
It's all facts.
All facts.
It's all facts. That's the thing. It's like, I'll have my moments where I'll go in deep on something, but then it'll be like, oh yeah, right after. Wait, where we going again?
Yeah.
I think the funniest part,
the worst part is,
I'll be sitting there like, y'all would literally just say something, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that remind me of like this right here. And he was like, yeah, man. Like, we literally just said that like 5 seconds ago, bro.
That has happened.
I did that once. I think I've only done that once.
I was like, oh yeah. They definitely do look like they draw the same way. Yeah. We just said it's the same artist.
Oh yeah.
We just said
I remember that. Like,
yeah.
Shaq and I, we legit, like, if we didn't look at each other, but you could hear that pause where it's like, we just discussed this.
Like, my God, we just said One Punch Man. Like, we get it. Like, we just said this.
Oh my goodness.
It's funny though. That's how it worked. I think that's the one good thing, because there's, especially with us three, we're all big lovers of anime. We've all been watching it probably I think I started when I was like 6, 7. I feel like everyone here kind of started at that age.
Yeah.
So it's like, all different. We all pay attention to different things, but it's like when we get on here, it's not a battle of the gatekeepers. And it's that's really how anime conversations should go.
Right. Because it's too many people that like will give the whole, I guess, introductory to the anime community kind of thing a uncomfortable type of atmosphere, because it's like you get somebody who wants to have a light conversation about it, and you get somebody who like dives too deep, and now like you're insulting everybody's intelligence when you shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like they don't want to talk to you about those things anymore, and now you're going to be antisocial, talking about nobody understands me and all the other shit.
It is your fault. It is your fault.
Like, seriously, come on. And then I feel like, come on, like, it's 2020. We shouldn't have to have this conversation of don't judge a book by its cover. Just because the person is goodly dressed and does not smell. People who go to cons know who I'm talking about. Does not mean he does not fit the description of an anime watcher. Most people who watch anime actually use deodorant. I'm just gonna get that out there,
bruh. That is one thing I can't stand. My bad.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's like I'll say within my community back then there was a different. Like now it's a little bit more accepted where it's like anybody can be watching it, but it's like. Sometimes I still get it now. They're like, oh, you watch anime? I didn't think that you did. I'm like, why? It's like, well, you're not like super dorky or you don't talk about like fucking anime chicks. I'm like, what? Who do you talk to?
Who is your mans? Who is your mans in them? Please.
Exactly. It's like, bro,
who are your sources?
Are you hanging out with incel anime lovers? I'm like, I don't know what you're on. It's like, yeah, we watch, like, you can watch anime and still like sports. It's like, I don't get where you gotta be a super nerd. Like, not that a lot of people are like that, but for some people outside of the culture, they think if you're watching anime, then you do weird stuff. And it's like, nah, bruh. It's like you watch Disney Channel movies where lions sing. Why is it weird that I'm watching a show with people fighting? I don't get it.
Right.
I think the weirdest, like, and maybe this is a gatekeeper thing, but the weirdest thing I've ever gotten as a response to me watching anime was somebody was like, wait. You're too smart to watch anime. Like, you're not, I'm surprised. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean I'm too smart to watch anime? Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, no, like, I thought they were all just nothing but fighting and there's no, like, storyline to it or no intelligence. I was like, oh, have you ever heard of the anime called Death Note? Like,
right. And you know what? I would say like I use Death Note a lot to introduce people into anime, because I have a friend who she knows what anime is and stuff like that, but she really just never had a show to get into. And I introduced her to Death Note, and she was just like, "Is anime like this?" I'm like, "Yes, this is a part of the world of the anime." It's like going to this whole what's his name, dude from Willy Wonka, just come with me. And you'll see a whole world of crazy fucking anime.
I had a girl tell me that
different sizes and different flavors.
I had a girl tell me this, like, oh, no wonder you have a girlfriend. You watch anime. I was like,
whoa!
I
have never heard that before.
I was like, this is why your man left you. Okay, it's like, don't talk to me like that.
I heard.
Wow.
Piece of shit.
I've always heard the opposite. I've always heard the opposite.
No, this was when I was working at Applebee's, sometime maybe 2012 or something. I was talking about this anime with a coworker, and they're like, "Oh wow, you watch anime? It's like, this is why you don't have a girlfriend." And they try to say I was a virgin. I was like, first of all, I don't know where you got this from, and it's like, watching anime has nothing to do with virginity. I was like, the niggas writing the manga have wives.
Right. Fun fact, everybody. The guy who wrote Yu Yu Hakusho is married to the creator of Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I kind of got that once when I was, again, this is college. Maybe college was just that year for all this, but I was working at Radio Shack, because this is like that was my job outside of football in school. And my manager was like, "Oh, I noticed that you watch cartoons. Like, are you not getting any girls? Like, are you still stuck in like your childhood era?" I was like, "Oh, you're that type of disrespectful." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me show you my phone." I was like, no. I plenty of women, like, but I'm okay. I'm again, this is the past, happily married now, but I was like, yo, like, I am kind of on a football team at a college. Like, why would you assume that I have any problem?
People are weird with their thoughts, man.
They are, man.
But I think
I ain't
that's
gonna lie
what.
to y'all.
Hmm?
Oh, no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I think that's also why that one person that we all know who's afraid of jumping into the anime culture like that.
Yeah.
I think that's also why it's like some people are like that. Something must have happened where they got some trauma with anime, so it's like, hey, I'll be in this chat, but you ain't gonna tell nobody that I'm here, alright?
Right. Like some people who just hate the fact that some other people wear anime related clothing, because apparently that's fucking retarded. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think like because I've had traumatic experiences. No, I can't even say traumatic because maybe it's the cavalier in me or just the overwhelming confidence that I have in myself. But I can easily see somebody who, especially at an early age, who doesn't have that confidence in themselves to be dogged by not watching anime or for watching anime or for having something like a Yu-Gi-Oh card or a Pokemon card to be like, oh, this is not in the in crowd, so I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It was either be a nerd or nothing at all for me because I wasn't about to do no gangster shit in Atlanta.
I wish I had that sentiment. I wish I had
to you.
it. I wish I had that sentiment. It would have been a lot better in life.
It's like it was just like it's not in the card for me to be a gangster. It's not. It was never in the cards for me to be the gangster. So I was like, I guess I'm the anime guy. Fuck it. And you know what? For a good time, that's what like, you know what I'm saying, was my defense. Because most of the guys who were affiliated with other extra shit and stuff like that got into like the fights or whatever, they'd be like, oh no, that's Shaq. He cool peoples, man. You know what I'm saying? He hooked me up with a Pokemon card the other day. He cool.
Shaq had to pay him. Pay him for protection. Here you go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
No, because like I was a low key plug for like the low key guys who like liked some of the stuff, but like didn't really like do the other stuff, the stuff that like actual like people like to do or whatever. So like I forget the dude's name. Cause one dude, he was just like, hey man, you know how this Yu-Gi-Oh stuff works? And I showed him how to play the game. He's like, oh, okay, that's fine. I appreciate that, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I think one day somebody was getting ready to jack me for where the fuck it was. I don't know what it was. I get jacked for so much shit when I was little. I don't even remember now. But he was like, no man, that's Shaq. He cool. And I was just like, my nigga, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was because I was the one who was always trying harder, not smarter. But I was always the one who was like, well, if you don't like me, you can fight me. I'm okay with that. Like,
that was my sentiment. I was like, if you got a problem, we can handle it right now.
Like, I'll take the loss. Like, I have no problem getting jumped. Like, it's cool. Like, just give me a chance to at least fight some of y'all 1-on-1. Like, I'll get jumped. I'll take the loss. Like, whatever. Like,
I don't know. You might have to speak for yourself because that shit gets tiring after a few times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was fun for me.
Every time you get to a confrontation.
Shaq was the smarter one. He was like, I ain't got time for all this shit.
Like, fuck it. I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh, man. I don't care at this point now. Shit.
Justin and I, all right, fuck it then. So what's up? Nigga? the fifth time that day.
Yo, and it kind of speaks to it. Like in my entire life, this is the first time in my life that I've ever stayed in a school for more than 2 years. I've always, and I mean by this second year, I was either moving or I was getting kicked out of the school that I was in. Like, legit, just always a problem.
Yeah, you were wildin'. I was fighting in bathrooms
wildin',
like
bro.
a civilized human being. I ain't want to get in
We don't
trouble.
fight. You fight organized, all right? You fight in the designated fight area.
It was like I only
That's
fought
been
one time
established
in
by
the class.
school law.
Fought one time in the school class. I ain't get in trouble for it, but my dad was like, "Hey, look, I understand what happened. You defended yourself, but if I hear you getting in fights in class again, it's gonna be your ass."
So I got into like one fight in the cafeteria in middle school, but that was like at the same time I had like a lot going on. My head, it's getting a little dark, guys. I'm just going to warn you right now. It's going to get a little dark. Whereas like, I was getting bullied a lot in middle school. And like at the time of like maybe 7th, 8th grade, my grandma on my dad's side passed away. And like my counselor who always like made sure that I was like mentally okay because of the bullying. And when she found out that my grandma passed away, she had like warned my teachers that like, yo, this kid's a fucking time bomb that's about to blow up at any moment. Please watch him. And it didn't take that seriously. So the dude who bullied me, like, I think it was like during breakfast, I was just trying to get something to eat and go to class, bullying me, and he took a hat from me that I got from one of my cousins from when I was at the funeral, and he threw it. And so I didn't say anything. I just looked at him and grabbed my chair and hit it upside the head with it.
Yo, yeah.
Shaq said, "I'm getting blood." He said, "It's a life for a hat. I don't give a fuck." And honestly, I don't blame you.
I don't blame you at all.
Y'all know that
man.
one? Y'all know the scene from Hunter x Hunter when Gon snaps when he sees the cat girl?
Yeah.
That's me. That was me.
Everyone was like, "Hey, yo, don't fuck with that guy again."
Yeah. Well, that kind of
It's all fun until you get hit with a chair.
Like,
Listen, it was no hesitation.
I was maybe, I want to say 6 at the time. And my brother, he had just started school, like pre-kindergarten, just started school. And we were coming home, and I'll still never forget this to this day because my parents never let me forget about it to this day. I was trying to, because my mom always told me to be the example for your brother. Regardless of what you may feel, regardless of what you may going on, your brother looks up to you. Don't do as you want because someone else is going to follow you. So I was like, cool, like I'm not going to try to fight in front of him because he's like, I'm the big brother. I'm supposed to be the one to be cool in all situations. Dude on a bus is talking crazy, like, forget my mom, I'll smack your brother, like, just going and trying, because again, he's trying to pop off because he knows my brother, literally the year before I fought him, and I beat him up, but that whole, like, few months, I was chilling because of my brother. We finally get to my stop, and we're walking off the bus. My stepfather just so happened to be outside at the moment, and he sees me getting, like, trashed. I mean, dude is trying to bump me, stand in front of my face, say, hit me, whatever. He keeps doing this. I'm getting tired. I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to walk in the house. Buddha go in the house. I'll handle this later. My stepfather was like, if you walk in this house and you don't put hands on him, I'm fighting you. That was the last time I ever backed down from anything.
Well, you've been given like a crazy ass ultimatum. First off, it's like it's either you fight to death or you die. Like,
yeah, that's exactly how it was. And man, that was my first time actually blacking out on somebody. Like, because it was so much built up anger. Not only because I couldn't, Like, I was one of those hot-headed kids. Even as you can see right now, I'm still hot-headed. I've controlled my anger and how to handle situations. But I was that hothead. I was the one that was trying to poke you to see if you would actually fight me. I was that guy. So
I feel you on
so
that.
evil.
I feel you on
It's so
that.
evil.
Because it's like, if I would get mad and it's like, all right, I wasn't allowed to start fights, but it's like, all right, fine. I'm going to egg this bitch on until you fight me. It's like, I'm going to disrespect everything. I'm disrespecting everything about you until you want to hit me.
Oh my. And I don't even say it in words. I would just pinch you. I would pinch your elbow. I would just keep pinching your elbow or something. Just anything.
See, you can't do that pinching shit in the South. You can't do that.
Yo, but I wanted to smoke.
Pinching somebody in the South is a signature for you wanting to scrap.
Yeah, but
That's you putting your signature.
Yes, yeah, that was me. That was me in the back of the classroom, kicking your chair. And I mean kicking your chair every 3 seconds on clockwork, so you knew it was coming.
Man, Justin,
Y'all evil.
No. I'll say this. I'm only fucked with people if they fucked with me for no reason. Cause really, I'm the quiet kid. I stick to my little circle. It's like I'll crack the jokes in class, but I stick to my circle and I'm not bothering people. It's when someone bothers me, that is when I turn into a demon. Yeah, it's like, I'm out here minding my business. I'm chill. Don't talk to me. Don't say, you talk to me, a whole different JP comes out. Now I'm fucking aggravating you every chance I get. I'm disrespecting you. I'm calling you stupid when you get the answer wrong. Like, I was notorious for it. Someone get the answer wrong. Wow, you loud and dumb. Fucking idiot.
See,
JP, get out of my class.
See, my problem was I was the clown. Like, I was the one that wanted to joke around and play. And I never provoked anybody. It was always, I was the one that was either one, too smart for the class. Like, I love when the teacher be like, you know what, you so smart, you go teach the class. I would be that kid that'd be like, all right, what topic are we going? What pages do I need to go over? And I would actually try to teach the class. But the problem was when I did these things, students would get upset because they knew I was joking around and they would say certain things to piss me off. Like, oh, yo, dumbass, why you up there? Oh, really? I'm dumb. Oh, I'm dumb enough to beat your ass. So what's up? What's up?
Justin was that kid who was in elementary school who was as big as the teachers.
Yes. I was 6 feet in 8th grade. Like, yes. I was that. Yes. Yeah, I mean, just imagine 13-year-old 5'9". Like,
right, you was a titan,
right,
next to these kids.
That's what was like, give me snacks.
But he was like, oh, dude from life, want your cornbread.
Yeah, right.
Give me your damn cornbread. Like, no, Justin, you ain't getting my cornbread today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, some of it was provoked. Like, some of it was me trying to be the macho man, which I've gotten smacked down for. Like, I never forget, I got knocked out or close to knocked out in school before. I was like, oh, yeah, he hit a little bit harder than I thought he hit.
You got hit. Damn!
Yeah, it was one of the, like, we were slapboxing. I was slapboxing in the bathroom, and I accidentally...
A traditional African-American sport.
And I accidentally elbowed this dude named Claude. Oh, my God. I elbowed him.
Oh, he sound like he's tough.
No, he not tough. I mean, he was kind of tough. I mean, he was kind of street.
Well, he sound like he got the strength of 10 Negroes.
Yo, like, now this is like 8th grade. So I accidentally elbowed him. And I was still slapboxing. Like, he was like, yo, like, you watch yourself. You hit me on accident. But
no touch, Claude.
But of course, I'm trying to be tough. I'm like, bro, chill, you good. I didn't say that, obviously, in 8th grade. I'm pretty sure I said something to that extent. And he was like, well, I can slapbox you right now.
Watch out, little bitch.
Yeah, what I didn't know which I found out like the following year, is that he worked out at the boxing gym that I joined like a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Oh yeah, he was ready.
Stuck your ass.
Bro.
Yep.
It was the first
Well, he gave you
time.
that 2-piece combo with a biscuit.
I reached twice. I caught him a little bit. You know, I caught him like with a little chin check. Like, you know how you just get the 3 fingers on it, you don't actually get a real hit? He feint left and came with a right. I bit. And I mean I bit. It was like I had a wep the size of his hand on the side of my face for at least 15 minutes. I was like, all right, man. Like, I can't fight you because I'm still concussed, but you got that. Like, I'm going to get back. We going to handle this one day. I never fought him, but we...
He said, "You got me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't even want to see what the next half was like.
Man, I don't want no smoke. Like, and I should have known because he was one of those people that kept to himself. Didn't really, you know, he wasn't with the funny fighting games. He was like, "Nah, I'm chill." I was like, "Oh." Then you get into the gym. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm going for my golden glove." I'm like, "Oh." That's why, like, all right, I'm not sparring with you today.
All my life I has to fight. That's who you fought.
Right.
He's like, I ain't with your bullshit. He said, I fight for keeps, bro. He was like, if I put these hands up, it's for keeps. Fuck out of here.
I was a child that day.
He smacked Justin so hard, Justin was like, you know what? This ain't really like the anime shit.
Boy, he done smacked some goddamn character development to Justin.
Yo! See, this
I think it got slapped and pulled the Naruto when Jiraiya died, had the popsicle, let that shit melt.
Oh shit.
Hey, no lie. My first day of Hapkido, I tried to spar the black belt, who was a girl. She beat my ass. She beat my ass. I was trying to cheat and like grab her leg and like start manhousing, like just bulldozing and shit. They're like, nope, that's against the rules. They're like, I was like, all right, bruh. She kicked me all across that goddamn mat. I was like, hey yo, I was like, we're signing up today.
You about to get humbled, big boy.
I was like, after that ass whooping, I was like, sign me up now.
I want my rematch. Character development right here. Training arc. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I thought that was my dumbass fault. I thought that I was like, cause I had fought like a few martial art people and I was able to beat them up, like just being tough and like, I'm like, all right, you do that shit. I'm just going to bomb one on you. But I was only 11. I might not even been, I think I was 11 and she was like 17, 18. So I still hadn't reached that point to where my strength could play. Nope. She, boom, boom, kicking me in the face. I was getting wrecked. My dad was laughing. Good times.
Yeah, no, I was wrong. He brought me back to reality. And I should have known. Known, like, because the way he hit me, it was like, it felt like we was playing Fight Night. Like,
the strength of his ancestors.
Yes, like you remember the signature Sugar Ray joint where he fakes his hands out? Yeah. He literally faked his hands out and he was already leaning left and that hand just came straight. I mean, you're talking about snot in the nose coming out, drool, like, yeah.
Ooh.
He said, unhand me, Negro. What was it that, what's his, what you said, Shaq, with that picture that Justin said? You said you look like, Cumberbatch.
Oxford.
The third. He
knocked me back to that day. Yes, yes.
There.
Bruh, Justin, you got hit like a filler character, huh?
Yo.
he He nedged you.
I got hit like an OVA character. I got hit like it
Neji.
was just one episode. Like, all right, bro, you this your episode right here. All right, we out.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Like, are you stepping up to as a filler character? Stepping up to a main storyline character? Bitch, the show name is Claw.
Justin walked into a dungeon too early. He wasn't high enough level yet.
You just played the game. You went to the expansion pass already.
Yeah, I was Krillin walking up the freezer that day. I really was. I was just like, yo, man.
He tried to fight the Elite Four with the level 10 Charmander.
Bro, you ain't got the badges to do this.
I was that wild Weedle
With that
after
big
the
shot.
trainer come back.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, Big Mud. Oh shit!
Well, he made you take your jacket off, even though you was like months not hot.
Whew, shit!
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Goddamn!
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
All right,
But yeah.
but yes, ladies and gentlemen, we here at the Spice Ramen Podcast would like to recommend that all of the anime community that if you wish to introduce somebody or to gatekeep the society of anime and manga lifestyle, you do it responsibly and you do it with care, because all are welcomed in the lifestyle of anime. Except for JoJo people. You guys get on my fucking nerves. No, I'm just playing.
In fairy tale people. In fairy tale.
No, we're not talking about them.
Sorry. Keep it going. Keep it going.
No, we're not talking about them. Go sit down.
But yes, this has been the Spice Your Own Podcast episode. I want to say again, I know we started off with it, but we are going to end with it. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Breonna Taylor. We are with you. We are here for you. We love you. We are here with you. George Floyd, we are here with you. Breonna Taylor, we will keep saying your names. Just want to say we love y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
And Ahmaud Taylor.
And Ahmaud Taylor, definitely.
I mean, Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, the list goes on. The list really goes on. We got
It's actually really sad that we forget the names because there's so many people dying. I mean, David McCatty just recently in Louisville?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad. It's like, I feel bad because that's why it's like I kind of just say justice for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, it's just sad, man. Like, 400 deaths. 400 by police brutality. Over 400. That's just this year and last year alone.
Sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm trying to stay as calm and peaceful about this as possible, but enough is enough. Like, what have we done to deserve this? And I know I'm on a little tangent, but again, there's nothing in this world that deserves that amount of hate. There's nothing in this world that deserves that amount of hate.
Right.
And again, thank y'all for listening. I know I'm trying to get off this tangent, but we just wanted to definitely speak on the topic. Realize that we are allies. Realize that we are here with you. If you need someone to talk to, if you are going through this and you feel as though you are alone, regardless of what area you are in, feel free to reach out to us. We have chats. We have different avenues. If you don't have a support system for yourself, not even on this topic, and that goes for any color, if you have anything that you need for support, whether it be stress, anxiety, any of this, feel free to reach us out. We have the avenues to be able to get you the support that you are looking for. We love everyone who listens to this channel. We love everyone who decides to dog us, who decides to jump on our comment section and give us whatever. We appreciate everyone listening. Is there something that y'all wanted to get out?
I mean, honestly, all I can say is just that I love my black people. I support my black people. It's I'm sure everyone here is feeling some type of pain with what's going on. It's been hard to try to remember to like laugh and smile during this time because I almost feel guilty for it, but try to stay in good spirits as well. And remember, the fight goes on. It's a marathon, and let's just keep fighting for justice. Make sure that all those people who weren't able to come back home, or the people that were in their home and got killed, get some type of justice or some type of change.
Yeah. And again, we stand with, not against. And I say that again. We stand with and not against people of color, especially this podcast. If there's any other podcast, this podcast definitely stands with BLM and everything that they represent. Shaq, you got anything before I close completely?
Once again, we thank you guys for the continued support. Please continue to support all Black content creators, especially within the Blurred community. Big shout out to all the content creators we've been working with the past couple weeks. Shout out to Blurred Over, and shout out to Ozzy Oz, the Virus from Virus Graphic Designs. Much love to those guys and all content creators who support us, and the same guys that we support as well on social media. Continue to reach out to those guys as we're all trying to reach out the same message of unity. Continue to love yourself and love each other.
And as always, thank y'all. We love y'all, and keep it spicy. All right. Peace.
Yo.
Namaste. You have just been served another episode of the Spicy Ramen Podcast. Thanks for listening in. Make sure to follow us on social media platforms of Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And listen to more episodes on Podbean and Spotify. If you want more, follow us on YouTube. We can like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell too, so you can stay tuned to all of our latest episodes. Until again, keep it spicy.